Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. First of all, I'm going to be doing a live chat New Year's Eve, December 31st at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Canadian Studmuffin channel. The link, so if you want to click on here and be notified when I go live, and I'll also have the link below. So yeah, I might chat for maybe, a couple of hours. I might even have a drink or two. Anyway, I've already done part 2 of the 80s. It's just for members at the moment, and I will post that soon. And I also did a video on CD packaging for members first, and so you'll see that sometime in the next couple of days. But I thought I would go through the whole decade of the 90s because for me personally, that's when I stopped buying a lot of new music by, new bands and even bands or artists that I love. I stopped buying sometimes their albums, like Paul McCartney and Elvis Costello. There's only one album I'm ranking by him. So here we go, in no particular order. And as always, there's going to be albums that you love from the 90s that I either never heard or I don't know them well enough to rank them. Let's start with Canadian content, my favorite album by the Northern Pikes, Snow in June. That is A tier. Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream, that was gifted to me. I bought it, back in the day, as they say. But it was gifted to me over a year ago, and I do like it. I'm not a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan, so I'll just place that in B. I just love some songs more than others. Paul McCartney, Flaming Pie, excellent album. It's a little it's a little too long. There's a couple of if it had been trimmed by a couple of songs like those the Steve Miller songs were just okay, but otherwise a lot of the songs were just superb. So I'll put that at the start of A. Jeff Buckley, Grace, I've heard a couple of times. Once for a Patreon album request, and I loved it. So I'm going to put that in S tier. Radiohead, OK Computer. I'm actually going to, where is it here? Yeah, Radiohead, The Bends. That is A tier. It's my favorite Radiohead album that I've heard. Actually, I like Paul McCartney's more though. Right there. Yeah, and OK Computer, I absolutely love, Paranoid Android, Airbag, and a few of the other songs. But overall, there are some songs on it that I've just never warmed up to. So I'm going to put it, just for me personally, in B. I bought They Might Be Giants Flood, the only album of theirs that I bought. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'll put that in B. But behind Smashing Pumpkins. Weezer, their first album. I've never bought any Weezer albums, but I have heard that one. I'll put it in B at the end of B. Lou Reed and John Cale, Songs for Drella, their tribute to Andy Warhol. I need to listen to that more. Just for the few times I've heard it, I'll also put that in B, in between Smashing Pumpkins and Radiohead. Sparks. They didn't release too many albums in the 90s. Gratuitous Sax and Senseless Violence. Excellent album. I'm going to put that in A. right there. Sparks Plagiarism, that's where they redid their own songs, and they also had some guest stars like Faith No More, Erasure, and a couple of others. It's okay. There are some tracks that are just excellent, and then some of them, just don't compare with the originals. So I'll put that just behind Radiohead. Nirvana. I haven't heard their albums in, like, the full albums in years. I did buy them when they came out. But, with what happened with Kurt, it's just for me personally, it's kind of depressing to listen to. But I think their not their second album, their last album, I think I like that the most. I'll put that at the end of A. And the other one was also really good. I'll put that just behind. And I don't know how you say that. I'm not going to bother. And Nevermind at the end of A. Neil Young. Good album. Not one of my favorites, but still a very good album. I'll put that right there. Now, Ween the Mollusk. There's a possibility I might be getting it soon. Somebody gifted me 3 more Ween CDs. I thought I would just include it here. I would love any Ween fans' thoughts on it. I've heard some Ween fans consider it their best album. The other Ween album I have here, Chocolate and Cheese, is S tier. I've got Chocolate and Cheese, The Pod, Pure Guava, and Quebec. It took me a second to remember. Yeah, and I love all 4 albums. So Queen Innuendo, for me, it's my favorite album by Queen. I'm going to put that at the very start of A. REM Automatic for the People, my favorite REM album. I'll put that just behind Ween in S tier. Elvis Costello, Mighty Like a Rose. That was the last Elvis Costello album I bought for many, many years. It was, Spike was very good, but this one just seemed pretty mediocre. I'm going to put that in C tier. Pearl Jam. There's certain albums by Pearl Jam that just bore me. I'm putting that in C tier. And there's another one. I know this is a lot of people's favorite, their debut, but not for me. But their later albums, Vitology, I loved. I'm going to put that in S tier. I need to get it again. And the other one is there's 2 more. Yield. Yield was excellent too. I'm going to put that just behind Vitology. And No Code. No Code, I didn't like at first, but it's one of those albums, you need to listen to a few times. I'll put it in A tier. It could almost be S tier. Ween the Pod. I don't know. It's going to be hard once I have all the Ween albums to rank them, because I kind of love them, for different reasons. They're so different, of course. I'll just leave it there. It's Chocolate and Cheese is superb. David Bowie, Buddha of Suburbia. I need to play that more. I'll put that in B tier. Queen, Made in Heaven, I didn't really care for. I'm going to put that in C tier. Hole, Live Through This, yes. The one and only Hole album I ever bought. And I really liked it. It rocked. I'm not really a fan of her, but I'll put it in between the two Nirvana albums. Cure Wish, which contains my favorite Cure song, End. But overall, I just, I like the Cure, but I wouldn't say I love them. Right there. Sinead O'Connor, her first album was excellent. I bought that on vinyl back in the day. I'll put that in A tier. Judas Priest, Painkiller. I've heard that album. It is heavy, man. I'm going to put that at the start of B. Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy album. I love some of it, and half of it I just find kind of boring. Just for me. I'll put it... right there. U2 Pop. Yeah, I didn't care for it when it came out. 2 or 3 songs I loved, like Discotheque I thought was a fun tune. But overall, I'll put it at the end of C tier. Zooropa by U2, however, a bit disappointing after Octung Baby, but still, I did like it. I'll put it at the start of B. Octung Baby is S tier, my favorite U2 album, along with The Unforgettable Fire. I'll put it right there. I need to get it again at some point. I love Lou Reed, but this is just one of the very few albums I just can't get into. Set the Twilight Reeling. I have to put it in at the end of C tier. The Northern Pikes, Neptune, their follow-up to Snow in June. It's one of those, CDs where there's so many songs on it. They should have cut back a little bit, then it would have been a stronger album. I'll put that in B tier. Right about there. David Bowie, Hours. Once again, a good album, but not one of my favorites. I'll put it right there. Off the Ground, Paul McCartney and Wings. I thought it was better than, before I heard it, I'd heard that it wasn't such a great album. And I never bought it when it came out, but I have it now. And I think it's, at least, yeah, I'll put it at the start of B tier. Alanis Morissette. Yeah, I bought that when it came out, but I'm not a big fan. I'll put it at the end of C. Ween, Pure Guava. I think if I had to choose, I think I love the pod just a tad more than Pure Guava, but it's still pretty close to the same ranking. Run Devil Run, Paul McCartney. It's a pretty good album. Just some covers. Right there. Blue Oyster Cult. Heaven Forbid with, I know there was another, 2 different album covers. This is the second one, I believe. It was good. I prefer earlier Blue Oyster Cult, but put it about there. David Bowie, Earthling, I love. I will put that in A tier. Right there. David Bowie, that album, White Noise, whatever it's called. Yeah. There's just certain David Bowie albums I guess I need to listen to more. I'll put it there. Lou Reed, Magic and Loss, very good album. That would be A tier. I'll put it right there. And one more. Aerosmith, Get a Grip, the last Aerosmith album I ever bought. It was okay. I'll put it in C tier. I'll put it at the start of C tier. So that is it. That's all of the albums from 1990 for me. Like I said, I was still buying or listening to albums from the 60s and 70s and 80s. But when it came to the 90s, I was losing interest in newer albums and newer artists. And that's it. So thank you for watching. And please remember to, if you're around, to check out my New Year's Eve live chat. Bye.